Okay, we're live again. Welcome everybody to the Azure and AI Show. And with us this evening is Deepak, and he's one of our new speakers for this week. And also Dan Ray, and we have Amy Diamond. Amy's going to do some stuff there on knowledge agents, I think, Amy. We,
Yes, yes.
we all like to hear new stuff about all these agents. So thanks very much for joining us. So Deepak, will you uh, let you share your screen there, and you can start off, and Amy, we'll leave you going after that.
No
Okay,
problem.
cool.
Frank, you want me to go first?
Yeah, if you go
Oh,
first.
okay.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
you're our guest speaker this week.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for,
And Amy
inviting
got.
me. Yeah, share screen. Uh, Here we go.
Yeah, we can see that there now.
You can see that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good day, everyone. I am Deepak Jaiswal, Telecom Solution Architect, NIT Kanpur graduate. Today, I will show how Edge Resident ASR, that is automatic speech recognition on Azure, delivers real-time transcription with enterprise-grade compliance. This means regulated organizations no longer have to choose between AI performance and trust. Before we dive in, uh, let's consider the broader context. Why is this topic so urgent or critical for financial services and healthcare? Increasingly, regulators demand not just records, but searchable, tamper-evident transcripts, often within minutes. The stakes are high and the margin for error is thin. Let's explore how our approach meets these demands. The regulatory imperative in financial services and healthcare, compliance requirements have intensified. Supervisors expect near instant searchable records. Privacy teams demand sovereignty by design. Auditors require tamper evident trails. Traditional cloud ASR solutions, while attractive, often push sensitive audio outside enterprise boundaries. This introduces latency, data sovereignty risks, and gap in the audit chain. For example, under GDPR, data residency violations can result in severe penalties. Our approach inverts this paradigm. We keep the speech or voice at the edge, leveraging Azure local zones. Transcription happens in real time, anchored by cryptographic evidence at every step. This is the North Star guiding our architecture. Meeting regulatory mandates. Let's map our architecture to specific mandates for compliance industry. SEC, FINRA, we provide complete audit trails, tamper evidence storage, and retention aligned with the Rule 17A4 and Rule 4511. HIPAA, encryption in transit and at rest, strict access controls and comprehensive audit logging across the pipeline. GDPR, geofencing, processing transparency, and the path to erasure request without breaking the integrity chain. These controls aren't just technical, they are operational safeguards that enable organizations to demonstrate compliance proactively. With the why covered, let's look at how we do it. Architecture overview. Here's the core architecture. Traffic enters as RTP media. These RTP medias are forked from the SBC southbound controllers from the telecom network. Using SIPREC, we mirror those streams losslessly to the edge GPU clustered in Azure local zones. Transcription happens right there, so audio never leaves your jurisdictions. Azure Confidential Computing provides hardware-level isolation and attestation, proving to auditors where and how processing occurred. Outputs are searchable transcripts with integrity verification, cleanly separated from the live media path. This separation is crucial. It ensures zero impact on call quality even at scale. To put this in perspective, traditional batch processing introduces hours of delay and residency risk. Our approach delivers sub-second latency and full compliance. SIPREP integration. SIPREP is the backbone for capture. It mirrors RTP streams without touching the live call. Each packet gets a 12-byte integrity envelope, 4 bytes for speaker ID, 4 for processing timestamps, and 4 for rolling SHA-256 hash from the previous payload. This provides sequence integrity, speaker attribution, and lightweight tamper detection before transcription even begins. These mirrored streams feed the edge GPUs for real-time ASR. The design ensures that compliance processing never impacts the quality of the primary conversation, a key challenge in regulated environments. GPU cluster architecture. Real-time ASR is massively parallel. We run hundreds of concurrent streams across a Kubernetes orchestrated GPU clusters. Node affinity pins workloads, maintain tenants, isolation, and optimizing utilization. NVIDIA MIG partitions a single GPU into multiple isolated instances, matching slice sizes to each pipeline for predictable throughput. This architecture is inspired by large-scale cluster management systems like Borg, ensuring dynamic resource allocation and resiliency. Resiliency mechanisms guarantee services continuity even during partial infrastructure failures. Adaptive GPU load management. Traffic spikes are inevitable, but it doesn't have to be. Our control loops perform predictive throttling and priority-aware admission control. The scheduler scales horizontally and vertically, binding ASR pods to MIG instances via the cumulative device plugin. This maintains sub 400 milliseconds P95 latency and avoid resource contention even during audit surge. We also implement load shedding mechanisms, selectively reducing processing intensity for non-critical segments during peak periods, ensuring high consequence communications always receive prioritized processing. Core performance metrics. Numbers tells the story. We achieve 99.2% transcript coverage across concurrent sessions. The word error rate, 7.8%, and this is a challenge that we keep trying to bring it down, but it is good enough for compliance grade accuracy for supervision and review. Sub 400 milliseconds P95 latency, real time enough for live QA and supervision. We do continuous benchmarking. It ensures we maintain these baselines, raising alerts if drift exceeds 5%. This level of transparency is essential for regulatory audits. Real-time scale and concurrency. We handle hundreds of simultaneous calls with predictable throughput. Stateful sets provide stable identities and storage where needed. Queue management and back pressure smooths bursts, prevent cascade failures. Automated failover and health probes tied to Azure load balancers keep us at zero downtime, even through maintenance periods, and maintenance events. This operational resiliency is a key differentiator for regulated workloads. Data sovereignty and geofencing. Compliance starts with location control. We apply geofencing via node selectors and taints, so workloads run only in approved Azure local zones. Traffic moves on private networking and express route. Everything is encrypted with TLS 1.3 and MTLS. Data sovereignty isn't just a checkbox, it's a dynamic challenge, especially for organizations operating across multiple jurisdictions. Our policy layer, built on Open Policy Agent and Rego, translates legal requirements into enforceable technical controls. This means every transcription request is evaluated in real time for residency, retention, and privacy rules, ensuring continuous compliance. Residency attestations are written to Azure Confidential Ledger, providing cryptographic proof of processing location for auditors and regulators. Cryptographic integrity layer. Integrity is a two-layer system. Packet integrity. The 12-byte envelope establishes ordering, speaker context, and detects manipulation. Transcript integrity. The transcript integrity are chained with SHA-256 and signed with ED 255-19, providing tamper-evident and non-repudiation. Let's dive a bit deeper into the cryptographic binding process. Each transcript segment's signature incorporates both the audio segment hash and the previous segment signature, creating a robust hash chain. This ensures temporal integrity and prevents tampering even if an attacker gains access to part of the data. At 255-19, signatures are chosen for the deterministic security and operational simplicity, avoiding the complexity of traditional certificate chains. All of this anchors into Azure Confidential Ledger, creating an immutable audit trail that investigators or risk teams can verify independently. This cryptographic binding ensures transcripts accurately represents the original communication. Immutable audit trail with Azure Confidential Ledger. Operationally, every transcript event is an append-only record. Timestamp, speaker, attribution, confidence scores, and hashes linking back to the exact audio packets. This chain lets you recreate and verify the evidence without exposing more data than necessary, preserving privacy and sovereignty while satisfying audit requirements. Audit trails you can compute, not just trust. Bringing compliance into the millisecond era. Consider the evolution. Batch recording, hours of delays, limited audit trails, and data sovereignty concerns. Cloud-first ASR, improved latency but persistent compliance gaps. Edge resident ASR on Azure, sub-second latency, full compliance, and cryptographic assurance. This architecture evolution is not just technical, it's strategic. By moving compliance into the millisecond era, organizations can identify and address issues in real time, reducing regulatory risk and enhancing operational agility. Supervisors being able to intervene during a call rather than after the fact. This capability fundamentally changes how compliance is managed and enforced. This shift turns compliance from a post-mortem into a life capability. Supervision moves from after action to inaction. Why Azure? Local zones provide geographic reach and low latency, very critical, while connecting to cloud scale management and analytics. Confidential computing, private networking, and integrated compliance tools make regulated workloads practical and provable. Edge where you need it, cloud where it helps. This hybrid architecture combines regional data sovereignty and cloud scale analytics, supporting global operations and cross-border compliance. Bridging AI performance with enterprise trust. The key takeaway, there's no trade-off anymore. With Edge ASR on Azure, you get millisecond class AI plus audit trails, data controls, and sovereignty guarantees. Looking ahead, our architecture is designed to be future ready. As regulatory requirements evolve, organizations can update policy as code, scale GPU resources, and roll out new SR models with minimal disruption. This flexibility ensures that compliance and performance remain aligned even as the regulatory landscape shifts. Ultimately, this is all about building a foundation of trust where AI innovation and enterprise governance work hand in hand. I would like to emphasize that the journey of real-time compliance speech processing is ongoing. Operational safeguards such as proactive monitoring, anomaly detection, and model version control are essential for maintaining reliability and trust. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Very interesting, Deepak, how all this, we can see how all the packets go through and smooth, and all the different, the geo, where all the data can be used, and to kind of give you an understanding of how we hear the EU giving fines to companies if they don't allow keep the data, we say, in Europe, or leave it go over to the US and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Any questions, Dan? Hammy?
From an audit perspective and the audit trail, so it can identify where a word or key phrase was said. Do you have any sense for like how much of that context around it needs to be provided from an audible perspective? Is it a sentence or a paragraph or?
Let me see if I understand the question right. So each speech is, transcribed and then search made. And once you have search made, you can pull out relevant searches.
Got it.
Right. And it provides the duration call, who was in the call, what was the timing, and the key aspect is with a keyword. I think that there are multiple scenarios that investigators are looking at, and in financial industries, typically it is all about was there an insider trading, some kind of. So then they would pick a word and then rail from there. And so what happens, the industries typically will say, hey, all my employees, every communication is recorded, all their phone calls, they make it right. All of them is now being archived and plus transcribed and then made searchable, right? Now, our audit team with a particular area comes here, starts with a keyword, a search, or a date. Hey, did some people, and from then they're able to do it, and then they would be now this whatever they find it, they would also be able to prove in the code because it has been cryptographically keyed into the database. It's not that hey the data was I didn't speak it, AI generated the voice. You cannot do that because it at the time of the recording we have the recording plus it was cryptographically keyed in that the integrity is proved, and it is a proof that can be presented in the in the court of law.
That's great. Great presentation.
Yeah.
I actually
go ahead, Amy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually once if you have accents in the same language, you could have accents. You can have South African, you can have Australian, you can have Israeli English, you can have, and the second question is what happens if there's inappropriate words? Does it filter it? How does it, like
Very good
swearings
questions.
and things like
Very
that?
good
Does
questions. Very good questions. So I think the two parts. One, the asset part of it, what we have seen is, the word error rate increases if somebody comes with a very variant accent, right? But it all boils down to your training set. So here is what I think we have not discussed about those aspects. Here is, at the end of the day, it's all about how you train your model. The more you train the model with larger data sets, the more accurate it will become. And it will not only about English, in a same call, they could change language. Change the language, I think, and the engine can detect and generate. So let's say I speak in Hindi, it will create the word in Hindi, but then use English letters to transcribe that. Yes. So yes, if the model is not trained with relevant accent, then the error rates will be high. I think we monitor the error rates, and here is what we do, and this is where it depends upon if the organization would allow that their data to be used for training the models. That's another concern that comes in, right? Or you'll say, hey, these are dedicated models for you. We are seeing more errors. We would your data to train your models and improve the word error rate, right? I think that was the one question. What was the second question? I missed that.
about inappropriate
Oh yeah,
words like curses,
inappropriate
or if I
words.
say
Okay.
the F word or the S word.
Yeah. So we provide the companies or enterprise a policy whether they would like to block or not transcribe or keep as is. So different companies have different policies. So we give the control to our customers. Hey, what kind of filters or constraints they would like to put in. Some of the constraints like, hey, if somebody shared their credit card number or social security, that those numbers we don't really capture in the transcript. So we'll say, okay, star. So it is a policy driven that the customer decides.
Okay.
So it's something that you can define in an admin center, or is it already in a model, or something in between?
Oh, yeah. So it's not in the admin center, right? So the way the service is provided to various organizations, right? So the organization level, they can provide what is their policy, and that policy then feeds into the models.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Amy, over to you if you want to share your screen.
Yeah. I haven't been a couple of weeks, and actually, I'm happy to come back and to meet you all, and also share new things.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I will continue. And yeah, it's always good not to give up for yourself, even though you're busy and stuff. Where is the sharing? Present? Do I press
yeah,
present?
yeah,
Okay.
press present
I think
and then
that's something new. Share screen,
entire screen.
entire screen. Yeah. So
Yeah, there
I
you
will
have it.
start with a short presentation. Let me know if you see it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
have it there, SharePoint.
And then I will go to a practice because I think it's more interesting. So the topic we're talking about is the knowledge agent in SharePoint. So first of all, as we all know, Copilot is the UI of AI. That means that Microsoft took ChatGPT or OpenAI and packaged it with some security and also responsible AI. And then we have a product that big organizations or any organization can feel secure to use it and not share the information or the models that are trained on external models. So where we can find the Copilot currently is in the Copilot chat, as you see on the left, and on the Office apps, as you can see in the right. What is Microsoft doing now, even for the free version, is to integrate the chat, the free one, within all of their Office apps like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, um, OneNote, OneDrive, and also Teams. I don't have a picture of Teams, but you obviously know that. So, in addition to the Copilot chat, where we can ask all kinds of questions within in the work area or in the internet area, we can also create agents. And the agents that we have currently, there's agents that also Microsoft provide by themselves, but in general, we can classify it to Copilot Studio Lite, which is the one that you can create directly through the Copilot chat. By the way, the new icon of Copilot Studio has changed. And here you can actually, with a very easy wizard, you can ask to create an agent. It will create a title, description, and instructions, and then you can refer to some knowledge area. It can be a SharePoint site or external site. The second type of agent is agent that you directly do from SharePoint. You just go to a folder or mark a couple of files, and actually you can just set it, and the agent is part of the site. For complex agents, we can use the Copilot Studio, which is called the Full. There we can connect to all kinds of systems that can be external and also publish them also in all kinds of things and integrate automations and all kinds of triggers and things and like Power Automate. So the question is actually, why do we need another agent in SharePoint? What problem is it trying to solve? So Microsoft came out with something called AI Ready. And according to the statistics they did, is that most organizations have their documents actually just garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so they're not maintained and not there's no governance, and it's hard to find them, and they're in lots of folders, and maybe there's permissions for anything. So it's an issue. And actually, what this agent is coming to solve is to take this chaos that is happening and to organize it a bit. And the idea is actually, what it's doing is actually that the three major things that it can solve. One is because the Copilot is starting to use metadata to provide information. That means that document libraries that have no metadata, because the user doesn't know how to use it, or the site owner, or they're too lazy to put metadata, or they just don't want to do anything, the results that they will receive without metadata compared to with metadata will be much more much better. Now, what it's offering is actually to automatically identify from the file all kinds of metadata or information that can be provided, and the user doesn't need to do anything. The site owner just needs to see that the column is providing it in a correct way. The second topic that I want to show in a second is the possibility to maintain a site. That means it will check all kinds of pages. You can summarize the site, the pages. It will check all kinds of pages which you can retire because they're totally old. Or for instance, if the pages, the links are not working. So we will show you lots of possibilities. Let me show you a fast way where we're going. So I'll continue in this. So I'm in a communication site, in a team site, and actually it can be on any site. Now it's currently in preview, so if you want to see it, you need to run some scripts here that you can define if the knowledge agent will be applied for all sites, for specific sites, or maybe to disable it. Okay, but once if your administrator did it, then actually we will have this icon here. You see this SharePoint icon. Now, based on the location where we are, the menu will change. Meaning, I'm now in a page. I can summarize the page. I can ask a question. I can ask to create a page automatically based on a prompt, and I can also ask to improve. So let's just ask it to summarize the page. It will provide now. It will open up the chat of the agent, and it will provide me information. This we're familiar from anywhere the Copilot is working. So you can see it references to the place that I am. I could actually ask for instance, about some information about some projects, to create a table of each project and cells, and also the location. Now, because the metadata is not yet maintained, by the way, it's based on files that I have in the document library. So it doesn't give me much here because it doesn't know what the waste cost is. Okay. So additionally, what I can do here is I can go and improve the site. As I told you, it automatically can identify pages which are inactive. And by the way, I can define the inactivity, meaning I can say if a page is not been used for 3 months, I can say it can be retired, or it can be 3 years, or anything in between. And what the possibilities I have is to view the page, to decide if to retire or maybe not to do anything. To find a gap means that actually it will look for pages or content that people searched, and they couldn't find. And what it will do is, let's say somebody looked for the code, I don't know, FBI, yeah, and no one found it, so it will identify it and it will recommend to create a page on this topic that was not searched. So it's finding some gap between what was searched and what the results were, and it's offering to create a page. Fix broken links is actually, it will give me a list of pages that the links are broken. So in the context of the pages, this is what I see. Now is actually the big issue. So here I have a document library with a number of projects. As you can see, each one is in a different city in the West Coast. If I ask the question, it probably will not give me the right answer. But what I can do is now I can ask the agent to organize my library. Now, what it will do is here you can see create automatic columns. I can extract or create rules that says if a document is uploaded, send a mail. Okay, there's many actions. I can create views which group or filter or do all kinds of things. So first example here is based on the document that I have. Create 3 columns. What it's doing actually, it's enabling autofill functionality. That is, when you create a column now, it's possible to create an autofill. And you see here, I have the project name, I have the project completion date, and I have a key achievements. I will ask to create another column, which is the location. But just to show you what it does, it actually gives, when I create a column, I'm giving a prompt, then based on this, it's retrieving. So for the column, which is called, what's the name of it? Let's see, key achievements. So there's a prompt that it wrote. And by the way, you can do it also manually. You just write list the main achievements. And what it's doing, it's for each item, it's actually creating, running the script and retrieving the data. In this way, people, if they don't have time or something, this is actually what it's bringing, and it's quite smart. So I actually want to take and create a column of location in the West Coast because actually I want to see that later. So it's actually will create now a new column of location. Where's the location? Here we go. And you see, so this is Seattle. This is San Francisco. This is Washington. For this one, it didn't succeed. If I'm okay, I can actually save it and it adds it. I'm asked if I want to save it in the same view or not. But this is actually, instead of doing it manually, the AI is doing it. And it takes time to populate it, but eventually all of the information will be populated. And this is very cool. Oh, here we see already the information. Now, even manually, if somebody needed to go and do it, it probably would take him lots of time. So here you see it did it very fast. Now, if something has changed or something I want to update it, I still can go and go to the possibility to autofill. And what it will do, it will run the script again and provide the latest information. As we see here, we can also create some rules. Now, this functionality exists also without this AI, but it's part of the agent. So I can say, when a new file is added, set the status to new review. So what it will do, actually, it will go to the functionality that exists. And you see here's a rule where I can adjust actually when a file is added, always set the value by you see here I can change the things. I can choose the column and actually the value that I want to set. And if I change it to a condition, it will give me additional things. This functionality is quite new, but it exists in SharePoint, but in the agent itself, it also provides it. What else I can say is maybe group by created by, and you will see what it will do. It will make group all of the documents by some column. In this case, there's a column called created by, and I see 4 documents were created by myself. And all of this functionality is part of the agent, and it's very useful. And so for one thing, we can maintain the pages and see what's wrong and make it to be up to date. Second of all, we can add metadata because the Copilot actually uses it, and we can create a much better we can get a better result based once the metadata is fulfilled. And so there's lots of potential here. And one issue that is a problem, I don't know if for some people, what it does, it creates a column for each document library. In some cases, you want to create columns which are side columns. So you create one time a side column, and all document libraries can use it. In this case, each document has its own setting. One last thing regarding limitations. We see that it supports CSV doc, PDF, and Excel, and other compatible formats. It supports languages. It supports text. These are the types of column types. One thing which is a bit of a limitation is the agent only processes the first 20 during initialization. So if you're starting or create a page, you can create the metadata, and it will help you very much to fill the data. But if you're going to a site which has a million or 1,000 documents, it will only populate the 20 first files, and the rest you need to do manually. So I hope this will change in future. Last thing, it doesn't relate to folders, no matter where, and it supports like a flat thing. So it's in preview, and it can help people that maybe would need it. So let me stop sharing. How do I stop sharing? Here we go.
Yeah.
Any questions? But
it's very interesting altogether. I'd say when this will save people a lot of time. Companies, especially knowledge based now. Like I remember, I used to work in the tech, looking up errors and things like that, and you could be there most of the day trawling through old stuff that was never updated. And yeah, very good, Amy.
Great job.
But for some things you need to do manually. Let's say it's a project. The status of a project, the AI will never know what is the status. Only you will know what status to set it. So amounts, things that he cannot retrieve, is something that the person can know, that cannot be replaced. So that's something, and so that's the only thing I think. But
Awesome. good, a very good presentation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to see that SharePoint definitely around going forward. I'd say it's going to save a lot of time for companies. Dan, are you going to show us something, or do you want to keep it until next week?
I can show you something real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I have something quick as well after you, Dan, when you're finished.
Okay.
Something
Yeah, I'll keep
interesting.
this short and
Yeah.
sweet.
I did not plan for this, so can I drop?
Drop
Yeah,
off there.
absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not-
I'll still stay for 5-10 minutes and see. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. So this is a picture of me at work, and you can see that I have an MPU in this computer. This is a Snapdragon Surface Copilot Plus PC, and because it's based on the Snapdragon processor, I've got a number of studio effects on it, including a animated filter, so my video looks maybe a little less real because of that animated filter. And I have a watercolor and an illustrated filter that I can use, and that's what's putting a load on not only the the computer components but also the MPU. And one thing that Microsoft has introduced with these Copilot Plus PCs is something in Paint called Co-Creator that I've been playing around with quite a bit. So if I wanted to maybe prepare for the San Francisco version of Ignite, I could say San Francisco skyline with the Golden Gate Bridge in the foreground. And then all I have to do in Co-Creator is do my best to draw what I believe this would look like. So I could draw a bridge and then maybe the skyline behind it. And then you'll notice that Co-Creator goes ahead and takes a attempt at giving me that graphic.
Nice.
That's nice.
It's black and white. Yeah.
It is black and white.
Can it be
so
color?
I think I can do watercolor, and hopefully that'll get me some color in the. There we go.
Wow.
And if I like that, I like that one a lot.
Gee.
I can say, let's go with that co-created watercolor graphic. And then I could use this as a virtual background or my desktop background, whatever I want to do with that. So that co-creator feature has been one of the things I've spent the most time with lately on my Surface devices, just playing around with different things I can do with graphics and, my limited painting skills or my limited artwork, but getting something much more maybe fancy out of the computer. So Frank, that's what I had for this week.
Yeah, very good then. That's very interesting.
Is it available in regular computers or is it only in the
You can-
specific computer you have?
So I know it's
'Cause
using
it's a
the
paint.
NPU. It's using the neural processing unit, Ami. So I think on any
okay.
computer that has enough MPU performance, if you go to Paint and you see a Copilot dropdown, Co-Creator, and there's a number of other things under there. I haven't had a chance to play around with as much of it, but the Co-Creator was one of the first things to come out that used the MPU probably about a year ago. And yeah, Teresa, hi. You gave us both
Hi,
kudos
Teresa.
on the demos here.
Hi, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy to elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this, I'll show you something here. I'll just share my screen with you guys. So this is Copilot inside Excel. Have any of you used it? You see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you seen the?
I haven't played with the brand new one. I played around with it for, I think, generating some columns before.
Yes. So this one here is kind of like the prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have a few of them already done. So basically, to start one, you need to go up here in the top, and you put in your equals to get your function. So you could either start typing Copilot, C-O-P, and you can see it'll come up here. You need to have a Copilot license, you know, the one on the work one. Won't work on the ordinary Excel that you have on your desktop. It needs to be on. So this is what it'll open up.
And
then.
on the web, it's currently on the web.
Yeah, only on the web, yeah. So then it opens up here, and you type in your prompt into it. Just 1 second now. So save me doing all the typing. I think I have some of them. Let's go back here. Okay. So in here, this is the full prompt, right? So I'm telling it. So you got the brackets, you put your quote, list all the nutritional facts for this food, and then you close the quote, and then you put a comma, and you say you want to put it into H2, close bracket, and then you hit the enter button, okay? So if we go over to H2, and we just type in something like bread, hit enter, and then it'll do its work. Not sure what happened there on this one, but in the baking, we have one here. Put one in the oven earlier, you know, those bakers. So we hit in the bread, hit the enter. And not for that one. Actually, I put it in the wrong box, sorry. There.
You could actually put the value directly in a function. You don't need to refer. But
Yeah,
if
so
you want to.
Here now to see freshly, right? So I put, this was for, do you see the slogan one down here, right? So I put Copilot, generate a catchy slogan for this product, right? And put it into H12, okay? So if I put bread in here, and it's going to write a catchy slogan. So it wrote, freshness you can taste every slice. So if you put something else in here, we put, so this one is provide, look, we'll go up here to this one, right? Please provide the name or recipe of a cocktail so I can list the ingredients, okay? So this is this one up here, Copilot, list all the ingredients. So H9, so I have H9 here. So if we put in something like Bloody Mary, so Bloody Mary cocktail, so we'll see, and then hit enter, and it's doing its work, but something happened. I'm just checking the ingredients of the cocktail. Didn't figure out what Bloody Mary was. Let me see, does it know?
I think responsible AI might not provide.
Try deleting the information out of row 12.
Out of row 12, this one here.
Yeah,
under E12. Remove the information out of E12 and see if it works, because it looks like it's trying to spill over into that area.
This one here, is it get rid of this one?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, just
Okay.
delete it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. There now. Look, so there's the
Right.
ingredients of Sex on the Beach: vodka, peach schnapps, cranberry juice, orange juice. So isn't it great what we can do with Copilot now, isn't it? These were so
Yeah,
this one here, this
There's
one, this
another
one.
thing.
So this one here, right?
There's another thing that it can think or forecast what is the next step you want. So if you have, let's say, sales and cost, and add another
Yeah.
column of profit, so and do the equal, it will somehow understand
Yeah, I was
how
gonna.
to fill it. It depends.
If you
Yeah.
guys had time, I could quickly show
Teresa.
you that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
See
And
if I still know
there's
what to
also the
do.
agent mode, if you know.
Yeah. The
There's the
agent mode.
agent mode as well,
Yeah.
which
I've done
is
that here.
Share my screen. Okay, it's been a while, guys. Right?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
See if I can do this.
Okay. Somebody like Copilot in Excel. Cool.
Entire screen. There we go. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah. There you go.
What Ami was sharing is, the one thing is I like, let me see if I increase my screen here. One thing that I like is this new focus cell, right? So every cell I click in, notice that I showcasing my column and my row. So I know exactly where I am. And to turn that on, go to view under focus cell.
Ooh.
Choose a color. So anytime I'm in a cell, that's my favorite little thing now, right?
That's new.
I know
Yeah.
exactly where I am, right? So what Ami was sharing is, let's say that I have these columns here. I have put my header here, column header here. If I enter in the equal, and let's just pray that it works, it should show a generate
Sometimes it doesn't.
formula.
It's not. It goes away. Yeah.
Sometimes I get it. Sometimes I don't. Let's try it again, because they know my column is there. Hit equal.
Yeah.
And it's not working today.
Yeah.
Let's try again. Let's just go to a new.
What if you change the column to profit? Yeah.
Try that.
Thank you all.
Hit
Thank
equal
you.
again. It's not working.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, my Copilot in Excel it works when it wants to, for sure. But I know that I did it because I had it on this one here. So I know that it worked. Let's just take this out. Try it again. Hit equal. And it's not working today. Normally what it does, it says generate formula, gives you the formula, and it is good to go. This is my actually practice sheet on a lot of the Copilot stuff. But I'm going to tell you, for me, it's really been touchy.
Yeah, it's like if you're doing Copilot stuff and you don't have the Copilot kind of function selected, it won't work.
Let's try it. Let's see. Because it shouldn't be the chat at all. It's not the chat or app skills.
No, it's just the function.
Yeah, you just enter in.
No, it comes and goes. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some sheets,
it always gets me when I'm presenting to others. Yeah, so
I guess it's in preview yet. Yeah.
There's a lot changing quickly with Copilot and the apps and other things.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed it's not showing here. But you normally can put the equal in and it automatically give you the formula, and it goes ahead and fill in the space. Let me see if I can do another one. Here on last name. Let's see if this one works. I'm going to insert a column. Go to, come here, insert a column. I'm going to say last name. Hit the equal, and it's not generating the formula.
Yeah.
So normally it would generate the formula. It would know exactly what formula to use, and fill in all the cells. You don't have to use the feature to kind of say fill in. It would do it for you automatically. Are you guys experiencing that, having trouble like that?
Yes.
Is this what you're looking for,
I
Teresa?
I can have one file that it works and one file
Right.
that it doesn't work. So it's that crazy. So sometimes I have the function, sometimes not. But
at least you're getting generate a
Frank,
formula.
if I can show you two agents, I won't.
Yeah,
Do
Dan
you
is
have
showing
Copilot?
something
Yeah,
there.
you do.
Yeah.
I just want to share something, not even show you how it is, but to show that it exists. So come on. Yes. So there's two frontier agents, by the way, that are appearing. One is the workflow frontier, which is supposed to give you that you by yourself write a prompt and it does some kind of a workflow.
Okay.
And the next one is, where is it? It's the app builder. So the idea is that you write a prompt and it creates a totally new app builder. And by the way, in the researcher yesterday, I had the compute mode, which no longer exists here.
Yeah.
But, and what else I wanted to show you very quickly, that the researcher is now in a notebook. So oh, come on. So you see, I can activate the researcher, and by the way, also in the researcher, not within the notebook, this is new, that you can say which to filter what you want to include and what not. Because before it would take everything. Now you can say I want only web, I don't want work, or the opposite. I want only work, and maybe I want one site, or maybe just the email. And this makes the information much more better.
Well, not only that, it probably improved how long it processes too, because it's where it's pulling from everywhere. It was just taking like 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes to pull information. Now you're narrowing it down.
I think the time is the same, but here is the quality. You can control where do you want the information to come from, and not just take. Oh, one last thing is the researcher has now, if you activate it, where are we? So if you activate the researcher, you will have the try Claude.
Yeah.
Okay, try Claude is actually, Claude, as we know, is a different provider, different thing of Copilot. But if you decide to use it and activate it, I can show you where you activate it. Then it will use it. but that means that your information is shared and the models are trained on the Claude environment.
Yeah.
Do you want to see how to activate it? If it's something for next time.
Yeah, you can. That company is called Anthropic.
Exactly. So I'm in Admin Center, and I will go to Copilot, and I will go to Settings, and under Data Access, you have AI providers for other large LLMs. And if you do that, you can actually, let's say I disable this, and now I will enable it again. So what I will need to agree that allow to connect to LLM, and it will say here that it's using the information, and there's also a link here that explains exactly what's happening. So this blue area here is when your organization chooses to use the Anthropic model, your organization is choosing to share the data to the power of the feature. This data is processed outside of Microsoft managed environment. So my assumption is that most organizations will not do this. But yet, if you want to use it and you activate it, then you will see it later on here. And if I click it, you will see you are using Copilot Claude. So here again, we see that. So this is what I wanted to share. If you learned something new, I'm happy.
Cool.
I had tried. I've been working on some content for the financial sector, and one of the things that I was playing with Create is create a video, and I said something like best practices for tax season, and it created a 1-minute video with some best practices just in a matter of minutes. It was just pretty amazing how fast that it created. So I did test out the Create with the images, and because you have a brand kit where you can have your images in there and color palette and logo. And like I said, let me just put this to test and see if it comes up with best practices for tax season. And I could tell you, like less than 4 or 5 minutes, I had a 1-minute video ready to go.
Cool.
Ready to go. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you can reference it based on the type of the document. So if it's a Word or
Right.
PowerPoint, or so you have all kinds. Yeah. So
Okay, guys, we're gone way over time. I'm just going to end the live video. We'll be back here again next week. We've got a few other speakers lined up, and thanks everyone for joining us again.
All right. Good seeing you guys.
Bye.
bye.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.